Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
When I was a kid and I found out that the Jews were God's specially chosen people, I was sad that I wasn't born Jewish. So when I read in the Bible about Gentiles who love the Lord and got to participate in His promises, that excites me. And it's amazing how many scriptures, Old Testament and New Testament, talk about Gentiles and God's desire for them to come to Him. In fact, God chose Israel so that they could bring the Gentiles to Him. But somehow the Jewish nation turned inward. Instead of being a light to the nations, they hated Gentiles and became angry when anyone said Jesus came to save them too. While on earth, Jesus' mission focused on the Jews, but He also ventured into Gentile territory, preached, did miracles, and spread the good news to them. He talked of other sheep, not of His flock, that He would bring. In fact, the first visitors that He had who honored Him as king were Gentiles. Remember the wise men? One little section in John 12 shows some Greeks, our Gentile representatives, witnessing Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. These men had come to worship God at the Passover. I'm not sure how many Gentiles actually did that, but God had provided a place for them to worship in the temple, the outer court, or what they called the court of the Gentiles. The trouble was, that's where they sold lambs and exchanged money at Passover, so it wasn't exactly conducive to worship. So these men traveled to Jerusalem to worship the one true God, but they witnessed this guy riding on a donkey into town with thousands of people surrounding him, shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel." Maybe they questioned people and found out about his teaching and miracles, about how he recently raised Lazarus from the dead, how he might be their long-awaited Messiah. I'm sure these guys had plenty of questions. So they approached one of Jesus' disciples, Philip, probably because of his Greek name. They respectfully asked to see Jesus. Philip consulted Andrew, and they both took the matter to Jesus. Oddly enough, we don't know if these Greeks got to speak with Jesus or not, but we can assume they did, because Jesus said in John 6:37, "The one who comes to me, I will by no means cast out." And what He was about to do was for them as well as for the Jews and for us down through the generations. And soon after, He would knock down the wall of separation between Jew and Gentile. But let me ask you this. If someone came to you, like these Gentiles did to Philip, and said, "Sir or Madam, I wish to see Jesus," would you know how to lead them to Christ? I've heard of people sitting down in an airplane and the person next to them asks if they're a Christian and if they could tell them how to know God for themselves. So what would you say? What scriptures would you show them? With such an open heart, they may have questions, but they'd be ready to hear and accept the truth. If you're not sure what you'd say or how you'd go about sharing the gospel with them, I think you have a little homework to do tonight, don't you? Paul tells Timothy to be ready in season and out of season to share God's word. You could even make some notes on your phone to use to help you, because anytime God gives us an opportunity to share Him with others, you don't want to waste it.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.